गुड मॉर्निंग महिपाल।
Good morning, sir.
शुरू
Uh,
करें।
yeah, sure. I'm ready, sir. Yeah.
So, good morning, participants. Welcome to the last day of this FDP. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Mahipal Jadeja. He has been with MNIT Jaipur in Computer Science Department since about 5-6 years, I believe. He's an assistant professor in the Computer Science and Engineering Department. And even though his core research lies on AI and other computer science topics, he has been actively working on tools which can help researchers. Uh, so, thank you, Mahipal, for accepting our invitation to be an expert for this FDP.
Thank you
So,
so much, sir. Thank you so much for organizing this FTP and also for inviting me. It's a very important domain and not very well kind of talked about. So,
so now I
sure.
think you can.
Sure. Of course. So, yes. So, hopefully, my screen is visible. Yeah. Okay. So, basically, if we can recall from my last session, then we had briefly talked about uh, three different aspects, right? So if I just write it down over here in ChatGPT itself, then we had started with why prompt engineering is relevant for researchers. Then we had talked about a particular framework with respect to prompting, which is nothing but create. And then towards the end of the session, we had created one custom GPT or a private assistant. Of course, it is not actually private. We can make it public also, but formally it's called custom GPT. And then we had also seen this terminology in the case of Chat GPT. It's corresponding to last three letters of Chat GPT, which is nothing but GPT. Whereas in the case of Gemini, it's nothing but first three letters of Gemini, which is nothing but Gem. And then we had concretely seen how we can create designated gem for research purpose. And the ideas, whatever I have discussed, were specific to kind of research domain. But of course, you can make this generic, right? Depending upon your requirements, you can decide to utilize these frameworks as well as custom assistants as per your needs. So today, what I'm going to do, first, I will talk about one interesting aspect with respect to prompting, and then and which can be very much helpful to us with respect to research also. And then we'll talk about some other tools which can enhance our kind of research abilities with respect to interactive reading. So that is my target for the first part of this particular session. So let me just try to motivate you with one simplest example possible with respect to different type of prompting, which I'm going to say without using any kind of framework, but still we'll be able to see how kind of nice or creative it is, and where we can take benefit out of it with respect to research. So let me try to share one more account of mine. So not this one, sorry. Yeah. So let me go over here. So let me start with a very simple prompt. So again, we'll come back to research very quickly. But as you can see, okay, so some message in the chat also. Let me just. Oh, okay. Thank you. So now, what we are going to do now, let's say if you write something like this 10 tips about time management. And of course, ChatGPT will give us some response. But these are, if you go through this particular response, then this is kind of very generic, right? Most of the things we anyway know. Prioritize tasks. If we want to save our time, then we have to prioritize that. There is no nothing new over here. Uh, Use a to-do list, right? Most of the times, right, we see that whoever is promoting productivity on YouTube or other platform, they usually say that start your day with a to-do list. Apply 80-20 rule, that focus on 20% tasks and produce 80% of result, right? So all of these things are kind of very trivial. We know that these things exist and we have to do them if we want to kind of manage our time. But now, if you observe carefully, in the next prompt, I'm going to repeat the same prompt. So, in some sense, you can assume that I have just copy pasted the same prompt, but appended one important keyword, which will tremendously change the output of this particular custom GPT. Let me try to motivate you even further. Let me just try to showcase you what I'm actually trying to do over here. So if let me just try to show this, right? So if you again, if we go back to our first session, then our overall objective is to minimize the length of conversation without compromising our quality, right? So if we can achieve that, then we can achieve almost anything with respect to prompting. So with respect to output, we can say there are two important parameters. If we can control them, then we'll be able to gain a lot of credibility, as well as lot of we can say in quantitative measure a good quality response for sure. So those two important aspects are nothing but what is the length of the outcome and what's the creativity level. Length, we know that we specify type of outputs in terms of paragraph, in terms of length, we usually specify words, so on and so forth. But still, we'll talk about some formal parameter associated with it. But the most important and underrated parameter is creativity. How we can in some sense change the creativity levels of, let's say, outputs of chat gpt. If we can do so, then for the same prompt, we can have practically, or I can say, thousands of different response just for the same prompt. So what is that particular parameter which we can kind of modify so that creativity levels changes with respect to chat gpt? By default, if we don't write anything, then creativity level is depending upon the task, it will assume something and give us some level of creativity. But we are not kind of we are just depending upon the kind of in some sense back end of chat gpt. We are not taking control of our own with respect to modification of creativity levels, and if we can do so, then we can accomplish a lot. So let me try to demonstrate this. Let me continue with the same example where we had started with time management. So you can see in the second iteration, I have copy pasted the same prompt, but just appended one important parameter, which is nothing but temperature. So you can see temperature is equal to 2. This is the only thing which I have appended, and you will be able to see the drastic difference in my outcome. So temperature is associated with creativity levels, and if temperature, by default, the temperature will be value will be around 0. So that is nothing but close to factual thing, and the maximum possible value with respect to chat gpt temperature is nothing but 2. So 2 means absolutely creative. So it's more about stochastic process which is going on in the back end, that if you keep temperature value higher, then it will kind of think out of the box. It won't give the traditional responses which it used to give to everyone. So this is more towards personalization also, that many of the times people complain that AI does not capture that tone and style. That is happening because you are not controlling creativity levels. You are just going ahead with the default things which whatever it's giving us. So now let's see what's the impact of just appending this one word, temperature is equal to 2, in the outcome. So by default, you can see it's saying that the responses must be extremely creative with respect to now the new setup, right? You can see 10 creative and energetic time management tips. And we'll be able to observe this in the outcome also. So instead of creating to-do list, it's saying create a no, not to-do list, right? This is kind of very counterintuitive, but this can also potentially save our time. That these are the things you must not do in order to save time. You can see one more, use the 2 minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. This is fantastic rule. That's many of the times we see a lot of emails are pending with respect to our inbox, because we feel that we will reply this afterwards, and then we forget, we are busy with some other higher priority work. So it's a very nice rule that if you can do something within 2 minutes, then you must do this. Turn that time into gold, right? Use waiting time to read, plan thing. So not necessarily that every tips which are which have been given over here are kind of relevant, but still you will be able to see that these are not the traditional things which we usually get from chat gpt in the simplest setup. I've already given you this example. The earlier chat, I didn't write this and I got the response, which was not wrong, but this was more kind of what all people are talking about on the internet about time management. But if you want some out of the box thinking, then you just need to append this particular parameter. And you can have any value between 0 and 2, not just 2. 2 is extremely creative, but if you feel that this whatever it's giving us, it's not practical, then you can reduce the value of temperature towards practicality. So you can see over here, now I'm giving temperature is equal to 1.2. So now by default, ChatGPT has understood that it has to balance between creativity and practicality. So it's saying that now whatever response will come, it will be more towards kind of practical possibility as well as some level of creativity. So you can see now. So now you can see plan tomorrow, today. This is practical. Start with clear priorities, right? So identify only two, three important tasks, not the entire to-do list. That's what it's suggesting. Break big tasks into small steps. Limit distraction intentionally. Again, some repetition is of course there. 80/20 was also there earlier. Take strategic breaks. This is kind of very much helpful. Many of the times we are kind of exhaustive and we don't able to focus afterwards. So it's also important to take breaks in between that. So it's suggesting like that. So potentially, yeah, you can have kind of thousands of different responses for the same prompt, and every time what I need to do, I just need to change this particular setup. Let's say, for example, instead of 1.2, if I give 1.6, then of course now I will get some kind of different response with high creativity and some level of practicality. So you can see. So now you can go through this response, and if you feel it's something of your choice, then you can go ahead with it. So you can imagine how powerful this is. You don't need to do much. You don't need to follow any kind of framework. You just need to append a keyword, and that keyword will decide that how creative your response will be. Now let me come back to research, that how this can be helpful with respect to overall research domain of us. Can any insights in the chat? If you have any thoughts, then you can just mention very quickly in the chat box. Otherwise, of course, I will give the answer that where and how we can utilize this. Meanwhile, let me just try to showcase the overall idea one more time, that what we are trying to achieve formally with this particular temperature framework and where we should apply it. So as you can see over here, that if you want something very based on some facts, then you should not let me just try to maximize this. Just give me a minute. Fine. So I hopefully this is visible. Okay, so you can see now that if you focus over here with respect to temperature, so then you can see clearly that if you want something very deterministic nature, something of very deterministic nature, then of course you can go ahead with without any temperature setup. You can ignore writing it. But whenever you want something of very creative, unpredictable, or diverse opinion kind of thing, then you should go for very high value of temperature like 2. So let me give you one simple example, then you will be able to relate with this very easily. That if someone asks what is the capital of France, then I don't want any creativity. It's a just a fact-based question. So of course I will get the answer Paris, right? I don't want any temperature setup for this. But if someone asks that describe Paris in alternate reality, so then this is extremely creative task, and we need to come up with high temperature setup so that ChatGPT can think more creatively, and it will give us some response stochastically, which is not kind of predictable in normal setup for sure. So it will go through some token sequence, which usually it doesn't. So that's the idea of high temperature. So kind of out of the box thinking you will get. And you can see some high temperature tasks which you can think of. Write a poem in the style of Shakespeare, but about AI. So this is highly creative. You are trying to mimic style of Shakespeare, but you want some outcome in terms of AI. So whenever you are doing some kind of storytelling or some kind of kind of okay, so one more question is good morning, Professor. For the same prompt I run on my computer, I am getting a different response. Why is this happening? Okay, so it's a the reason for this is underlying architecture of chat gpt or in general llms. So let me give you one simple example. Let's say IPL is coming up. Imagine a scenario that we take first 100 matches of IPL and just write down this coin sequence, coin toss sequence, head, tail, what was the outcome of that particular coin toss, right? And now you have performed this particular experiment. Let's say on behalf of all the teams, you are doing this particular experiment of coin tossing, and you will get one nice sequence of 100 length just filled with head and tail. Now I will also repeat the same experiment from my side, right? So again, I will have one more coin. Let's imagine that you are passing your coin to me. That same coin which you have used for those 100 coin toss, I am also using the same coin for those 100 coin toss. But now this my experiment is separate, and I will also list down my sequence that what output I got. What's the likelihood that your sequence is exactly equal to my sequence, right? It's very unlikely, because if I talk about this kind of experiment where I am coin tossing 100 times, then basically 2 raised to 100 different sequences are possible, right? Because for every coin toss, I can get either head or tail, right? So 2 out of 2 raised to 100, it's a very huge number, right? You can imagine 2 raised to 10 is just like 1,000. So it's a even, right? I can say 2 raised to 10 times 1,000. So it's 1,000 times 1,000. It's a very huge number, 10 raised to 6, right? Close to that. So what's the likelihood that out of 10 raised to 6 different sequences, our sequences are same? That very, very unlikely. So same kind of things are going on when we write any prompt on systems like ChatGPT or LLMs like ChatGPT. You can imagine, they are, instead of coin tossing, they are rolling a dice. And what's the likelihood that they roll this dice for, let's say, 10,000 times, and your outcome of those 10,000 is exactly equal to my outcome? If that is the case, then we will get the same answer. But that is not possible, right? So, since in summary, what I'm trying to say, it's a stochastic model, it's a probability based model. So, every kind of generation of a word is based on probability distribution, and it cannot be replicated, right? So that's why even though we are using the same architecture of LLMs, we won't get the exactly same response. And even with the same machine, let's say I write one prompt about time management, right? That particular prompt was written, let's say, 1 month back. And if I copy paste that particular prompt right now and try to generate the response, then even in my case, I won't be able to get the same response. Let me try to demonstrate this. Let me just copy paste the same prompt, or maybe let's go for creative version. Let me copy paste this one, and let me go over here. Let me try to see the response, what it gives if I run it right now. So even after some time, so it's like if you do this particular experiment today versus if you do this experiment tomorrow, then the response will be different, right? So therefore, you won't get exactly same response with respect to LLMs, right? It's a good question, but of course, in-depth answer, if you would like to know, then you have to go through the architecture of ChatGPT, Transformer, all those. But in nutshell, the core idea is this: it's a stochastic, probability-based model. So therefore, it's very unlikely that any two users, even the same user, will get same response for kind of two same prompts. It's a very unlikely event because of these facts. Meanwhile, with respect to temperature, I was saying about this particular idea that when you try to kind of explain uh, Paris in alternate reality, then you go for high temperature value. And also, whenever you would like to generate something which is out of the box, like you are talking about poem or story, then you can go for high temperature setup. Now, my question is, any guesses where we can apply the idea of temperature with respect to our research domain? Research, we usually talk about papers, but apart from papers also, right, research has many aspects, or the creativity has many aspects with respect to our professional work. So where do you think you can apply this particular idea of temperature? You know everything about it, right? So what's the setup of it? You can also recreate this, right? I can just paste this particular prompt over here, so you can just try this. And what you can also try this interesting setup. You can just ask ChatGPT to write one paragraph about yourself, and then you can just say regenerate with temperature is equal to 2, and then you will see some words which usually don't appear in the response of ChatGPT, right? So that's how also you can use it. Uh, So Gopal Krishnan ji, it depends upon lot of factors, not just on who is running it. It's also about so if I talk concretely, then first it also depends upon your plan, whether you are using the free version or paid version, plus version, max version. Right, there are lot of versions are there, so it also depends upon that. Before that, I should mention about, of course, model, whether you are using ChatGPT 5.2 or ChatGPT 4.0. So it also depends upon model. Apart from that, it depends upon system prompt. Like, for example, if you write the same prompt on ChatGPT versus Gemini, you get different response, not just because of stochastic processing, but also internally how those kind of models have guided the system instruction. What is the instruction for the model to generate the responses? That is different with respect to different organizations, right? And then, of course, it slightly based on profile base also, because it has information about your styling and what type of responses you usually prefer. So based on that, it can fine tune, right? So the lot of factors are there. But my question is related to research now that we know about this beautiful thing, then how we can utilize it for something concrete with respect to our research. Or maybe Gopal Krishnanji, you can, if you can just write down your domains, then I will demonstrate one suitable use case with respect to research domain about this particular idea of temperature. Just mention your domains of expertise, and I request you to mention at least two or three. Maybe you can also mention your skills. Anything is fine. If you can just write it down in the chat box or unmute and say it, and then I will just give you one nice use case with respect to this. Okay, AI in healthcare, but apart from that, you must have some fundamental knowledge of your own domain. So, what is your domain? Like your graduation is in degree. You can, if you can just mention it. Okay, fine. So medical image analysis, AI, healthcare, deep learning, and I can assume your background from computer science, if I'm not wrong, or something else. Computer science, electronics. Right. Let me try to just come up with one nice use case of this. Biomedical. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, so let's say, let me just try to give you, motivate you where we can apply this in the context of research and professional life. So let's say you would like to come up with novel ideas. It can be anything, right? You can, you would, if you would like to generate or come up with some nice case study, or it can be, let's say you are planning to come up with one nice startup, right? So you can just mention that if we follow the create framework, then we can say assume a role of an expert career guide who guides professionals with respect to their startup journey. Let's say, then I can just say my domains of expertise is biomedical, biomedical engineering. Let's say, then deep learning, then I can say medical image analysis, and some other skills maybe also there. But I'm for now just sticking to whatever sir has given to us. Healthcare knowledge, right? Or healthcare is also fine. Give me uh, five startup ideas based on my expertise. So when I talk about startup, do you agree that I want some level of creativity? I cannot go ahead with zero temperature setup, because then what will happen? I will get some ideas which are anyway there in the universe, or people have already executed it. So I can try this. Not necessarily that it will every time it will give me something sensible, but it will give me something which is out of the box, and then it will be my duty to kind of predict which response out of this five response makes sense with respect to kind of execution with respect to startup, or maybe you will get some insights about this. So let me try to demonstrate this. Give me five startup ideas based on my domain expertise, right? I can just say expertise, and I can just say I will just write down the temperature, right? So let's say temperature is equal to let's go for directly two, and let's see what it gives. So it's giving me this one, radiology co-pilot, AI powered radiology co-pilot for tier 2, tier 3 hospitals. Along with that, it's also giving me a proper problem statement and idea that how you can go ahead with this. Personalized preventive healthcare engine, digital twin. That okay, fine. AI based surgical planning platform, 3D plus simulation. Okay. Low cost AI diagnosis via smartphone imaging, and medical data annotation plus synthetic data platform, AI infra startup. So these are the ideas which it has given. Now let me try to copy paste the same prompt but this time instead of 2, I'm giving, let's say, 1.8. Then I will get some different version of this. And how good these ideas are, that I am not the right person. Maybe sir can tell us whether they are making sense or not. But they seem sensible, at least to me, that now I am getting some different ideas. And like I mentioned, it also depends upon the model. I am using the free version. If I go for the paid version for the same prompt, then maybe I may get some better response. You never know, right? So if I go for this, let's say thinking mode, because this requires some amount of thinking, so I can go for thinking mode and go ahead with the same prompt, and let's see what this paid version is giving me. Right. So there are a lot of aspects to it, that how what your response will be. It depends upon a lot of factors. So you can see now it's giving me this first startup idea. This is the second idea. Third, right? This is kind of interesting. Smart wound monitoring for chronic care. Okay, fine. Also giving the business model for all the ideas. Okay, this is also important. AI powered medical image annotation and personalized treatment response prediction. Okay, so you can try with this, and you will be able to see various kind of response every time. So I can also edit this prompt, and instead of 1.8, let me go ahead with 2, and let's see what it gives. So then, of course, the quality will be that more creative for sure. So the more you provide kind of domains, the more diverse the response will be. Because for now, it has only included this 2 or 3 important qualities or expertise of yours. But if you put more of your profile, like if I say that I know about generative AI, I'm also good with, let's say, Excel. I'm good with theoretical computer science, something like that. So then it will be able to kind of give us insights or suggestions from diverse domains, right? So that is also possible. So try to be as descriptive as possible, right? So that's the key idea of it. But hopefully the motivation is clear, that what we are trying to accomplish over here. And then I will quickly talk about one more important parameter, which is nothing but tokens. And then I will talk about how we should read research papers in AI era, and then something else. Okay, so let me just go to this. So apart from temperature, one more important aspect is nothing but tokens. So tokens, usually that when you have the times people say AI is not intelligent, and it's not giving the correct answer for even simple questions like how many s are present in strawberry. So that is happening because strawberry is not read as strawberry by ChatGPT. It breaks it down into smaller kind of tokens, and for ChatGPT only those tokens are visible. So therefore sometimes it's not able to kind of give answers of those type of questions. So for example, if I try to motivate you that how actually uh, uh, ChatGPT sees the things, then this is a good platform to learn about it. So right, if I write something, right, thanks for your help. So you can see this is my messages, but ChatGPT is going to read this sequence of numbers only. Can you see this? These are called nothing but tokens. So internally, it's seeing everything in terms of tokens, right? Like this. So now, what I'm going to do now, let me directly motivate you with one example. Then you will be able to appreciate this. Let me just turn off this thinking mode. It's not required. I will just say describe or highlight key contributions from Albert Einstein. Okay, this is my prompt. And now I'm just saying tokens is equal to, let's say, just 50. So if I write tokens is equal to 50, then right, I expect a very short response from this, right? So you can see response. So it's better that I demonstrate this on kind of free version. Then you will be able to see it very clearly, because of some other prompts which I have written in the background, I tend to get slightly kind of I should say longer response. But without in the absence of those kind of I should say personalized instruction, um, it will work properly. So let me just try to do so over here. So you can see. how much response I'm going to get. It's one long sentence, if you can notice over here, nothing much, or two sentence in this particular case. Now, what I'm going to do, if I so roughly you can imagine that around 25 tokens is equal to one long sentence. So we got two long sentences with uh, 50 tokens. Now what I'm going to do, I will just say instead of 50, let's say 500. Then what will happen, instead of two, we are going to get around 20 sentences in the response, and it will follow this properly. You can count the actual number of sentences and it will be around 20 only, right? So that's the power of this important second parameter, which is nothing but tokens, and it will control the kind of output length very precisely. As compared to words, this is better notion to interact with ChatGPT, because, like I mentioned, ChatGPT can't see words; it's just process everything in terms of tokens. So if you write like this, I want number of tokens in the outcome exactly 500, then it will roughly give that if you quickly count, then 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And then 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, and some of the sentences were actually combination of two sentences. So roughly around 18 to 19 sentences we got, which was very close to 20 our initial assumption. So you can see this is one nice way to kind of control your length. Many of the times we want very quick answer just in one sentence. At that time you can go ahead with this. Like for example, let me try to motivate you with one simple example, that uh, why I should do research. Answer with, right, tokens is equal to 25, right? So then it will give me the answer in just one single sentence. So many of the times we want kind of precise answer, concise answers, and we would like to convey it without writing this entire long things that I want my answer in this kind of two lines or something like that. So you can just say tokens is equal to 25 and you will get just one long sentence for your question, right? So this is also one nice way to kind of control the outcome, not just outcome generation style creativity, but it will also you can also control the length of the outcome, right? And you can also combine both of this, right? For example, I can go ahead with this. Let's say tokens is equal to 25, but temperature is equal to 2. So now it will give me some creative reasons to do research. So it's a combination of both now, right? Of course, the in one sentence we can't see, right? So of course it's talk about curiosity and all, but if you still compare this two, then of course the second one uses some words which are not usually appears in the normal response. Like for example, sparks, right? Usually chat gpt doesn't use this too frequently or sharpens thinking, right? It talks more about kind of words like true, or like in some sense drives, right? So which are anyway available over here, right, in the previous response. So still you can get sense of some patterns which are appearing in the second version. And of course you can try with some other version like 1.2, where you will get more towards fact, less, slightly less creative, right? So you can try different ones. So for your task, not necessarily every time 2 will work or 1.2 work. You have to come up with your own setup, that for, let's say, for email writing, this is the temperature I should prefer. For some other tasks, I can go for, let's say, high or less. For case study generation, let's say for me 1.7 works well, right? Something like that. So it depends upon your use case. Fine. Now let me talk about some other aspects, not about this now. We have talked about tokens now. We understand that how ChatGPT process the words. You can see different colors are corresponding to different tokens, right? So for not necessarily that every time the entire kind of your word is one token. If you go for some longer words, then you will be able to see that they will be broken into different segments, right? So if I quickly write some word, it may not available in actual uh, kind of word, but you can see in the case of strawberry, forget about the spelling, right? If I correct it, then also you will be able to see that lot of breakups have been there with respect to that. So let me try to do something like this. So you can see if I write like this, then if you notice carefully, then it has broken this particular portion so far into three different tokens. Straw has different kind of number associated with it. BER has different number, and the last R has different number associated with it. Right. So that's the reason that many of the times it fails to answer properly that how many letters are there in a particular word, something like that. Okay, fine. Now let me try to motivate you with respect to reading of research papers, and for this I am going to use this particular interesting tool which is called Umata, and we will talk about interactive reading of research papers or any kind of document in AI era. So let me share this in the chat box, the link of this. So you can go to this platform, umata.ai. And what's the differentiating factor of with respect to this particular? Okay, sorry for this. Let me cancel this. Okay, what's the differentiating factor of this particular platform is that not only you can just read the papers just like any normal PDF reader, but you will also get power of AI. So if I try to interact with a particular paper, so once you upload that, you can upload any kind of document over it, PDF, doc, PPT, even YouTube video or website. All of these things are possible. Uh, let's say I've uploaded one of my research paper, and then once it's uploaded, you will be able to see this particular ask button. So let me click on this particular button, ask. Now you can see a beautiful interface has appeared where on the right hand side I will get feel of traditional reading, whereas on the left hand side I will get the power of AI. Right, this is the first part, that if I am more focused on reading, just traditional reading, then I can just drag my window towards left so that I can get my research paper visible properly. But if I want to take advantage of AI, that I can do like this, right? Reverse manner. So now I can interact with my work properly. So let me try to motivate you how this differs from our chat GPT and what are the advantages of reading papers like this. So first thing is, if I write any question over here, then of course it will respond, but response will be purely based on my research paper or the document which I have uploaded. So, for example, if I just say, give me uh, the key idea of, or give me the reasons of why this model is superior as compared to, let's say, state of the art. Okay, let's say any kind of question you can ask. I'm asking this particular question, and it's going to answer this very soon. But the way it's going to answer it, it has this beautiful kind of capabilities which is not there in other tools. You can see along with my answer I'm also getting citation. So if I the first thing it is saying, the proposed model achieve accuracy of 96.7%, which is approximately 16% higher than state of the art methods. Now if I click on this particular one, so let me try to zoom this so that you can clearly see what I'm trying to do. So you can see this is the first response, right? First line of the response. And if I click on this particular button, then it's automatically going to highlight the segment from it, from where it's speaking that particular response. So you can see some yellow marking in my work, right, in my paper. So from there, it has picked this particular response. So if I click over here, it's processing and then highlighting that from where it has picked this particular number. You can see 96.7, and the same number is appearing over here, 96.75. And somewhere I have written 96.7, so therefore it's giving 96.7 eventually. So you can easily verify whatever claims this particular answer is giving us just by clicking on it. You can also do this in Chat GPT, but in Chat GPT is very time consuming because you upload something, you ask question. If you have any doubt, then what you need to do? You have to again go to your PDF in your browser, open it, search for that particular query. It will take a lot of time, so much pain. But here you can see both the things side by side. On the left side, you have power of AI. On the right side, you have power of traditional reading, right? So, for example, if I ask this particular for this particular reasoning, what is CB score, CB Sage, how it works, I will just click on this particular button. It will automatically highlight the segment from where it has picked up this, right? So on and so forth. So, and towards the end, it will also give me pages. Pages will denote using what pages of this particular PDF document it has prepared this answer. So if you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, that means it hasn't picked anything from page number 1, right? So therefore, page number 1 is not appearing in this particular citation. Okay. And some other pages are also missing, like for example 6, 7, because for this answer it those pages were not required. Okay, as per AI, of course. And you can go through the response. It will summarize everything with respect to question. You can also ask something else, like what are the research gaps in this domain from this paper, and then it will give us research gaps. That of course it will be based on the paper. It will also give us citations from based on what segment of the paper it's telling us that these are the research gaps, right? So you can see this is the limitation. And if I click over here, then it will highlight that from where it has picked up. You can see some yellow marking over here. So if I try to zoom, then you will be able to read the actual sentence, which is right corresponding to this. Yeah. So you can see locating structural and spatial aspects, right? So that's what written over here. And the same thing is structural aspect, you can see coming over here in the response, right? So that's how this method works. And shortcomings, right? So again, right? So hopefully you got the idea that how it works. So this was the first part where you can utilize it for your normal reading, but you can also use it intelligently for kind of your literature review also. For example, you can have different papers. Like for example, I have uploaded 2 papers, and then I will get this interesting button which says Ask All. So if I go for this Ask All, then I will be able to interact with both the papers simultaneously. And then whatever response comes, that will be based on both the papers, not just one. Right. So this is also kind of very much helpful. So you can see if I say top 2 contribution, then it's giving me this contribution. And if I click on this buttons, then automatically sometimes it will be located on file 1, sometimes it will be in file 2, right? So depending upon your question, it will locate. So you can see if I click on this citation 7, it's changing the file, it's going to this particular second file, right? Second paper. And in the for the first response, it was corresponding to nothing but my first file. So let me try to demonstrate you something fresh. So maybe I can just say compare the similarities, or I can just say compare the key differences uh, between the two proposed ideas. Right. So this kind of things can be very much helpful to you when you try to read research papers and try to get sense out of it, that what are the pros and cons of different techniques, and what are the similarities or differences, and in terms of research gaps, how they differ, right? So on and so forth. A lot of possibilities are there. So here, as you can see, it's going to give me some responses, right? It's a this is first it's saying that this is for node classification, this is for link prediction, which is fantastic. This is the fundamental difference. So you can see it's nicely capturing. It's intelligent also. It's not like that. It's just doing summarization. Depending upon my question, it's adapting nicely and giving me sensible answer. That first difference, everyone should mention that whenever some question comes with respect to differences, the end goal matters the most, right? So here the end goal is node classification, right? So if I click over here, then I will get the idea how it's classified, how it's performing, and what node classification task it is performing. So I can focus more on this highlighted part. And then if I click on the second button or second citation, then it will land me to the second paper. And then it's giving me the idea, right? You can see the highlighted part, right? It's not coming from abstract this time, but from this particular some middle segment of the paper. And if I read through it, then it will make sense with respect to this answer, which is nothing but link prediction. And then how centrality is applied in different papers. That is also explained that here this centrality measure has been applied. Here the centrality measure is different. Modern architecture, this is based on graph sage, whereas this is based on GCN. So you can see how quickly I could understand the foundational difference between these two papers. Right? I'm not saying this is not possible with other AIs like ChatGPT and all, but the interface is the key difference over here. Here it's the verification is very smooth. You all you need to do is just drag this and verify whether your whatever the response has been generated is making sense or not. Whereas in the case of other platforms, the this verification may take some kind of pain, right? It may take more time for sure because you have to kind of keep your PDF open on one side, and there is no highlight option like this, right? You have to search manually for to get sense out of the response of AI, right? So therefore, it's kind of time consuming, right? So this is the core idea of this, and of course, you can utilize it for some other purposes also, like curriculum development. So this is not primary focus of ours, so I won't spend much time over here. But just to give you the key idea, many of the times what we do, we try to follow, and you can just by clicking on this right hand side button, you will be able to see all your PDFs which you have uploaded for this particular folder. So you can see that this is something from MIT, this is something from Indian University who is teaching English, and first document is of course one more document from uh, course of Stanford or MIT. And now what I would like to do, based on all these things, I would like to generate or design a course on generative AI, which is of 10 weeks long. And then it's going to give me the response like week one, week two, week three. And then along with those responses, it's also giving me the citation. So I can check from where this response is coming. That is fantastic. And now the important question may come. You can see that it's only going to give response from first two files because third file is English and it's not relevant to this question. So it's also intelligent enough to kind of focus on a subset of the documents depending upon the question. That not every time it's going to utilize all those kind of documents, right? Whatever is needed, only those documents will be referred while we use this. Now, one more interesting thing which you can do over here, that sometimes you don't want to switch the platform and still you would like to generate the entire response. So, for example, if I try to include this module, generative AI in teaching learning topic, can you please include one module on it? Then it will say, no, I can't because the uploaded documents does not do not mention about this generative AI and teaching learning topic. So therefore, I sorry, but I can't do this. So what I'm going to do now in order to solve this problem, I can go to the settings, and in settings I can change the mode of this particular Humata, where I can give liberty to it to go and search internet or generate from its own, even in a scenario where something is not present in my uploaded documents, right? So that's what we can do. So let me just try to showcase you that part very quickly, that how we can accomplish that. So if I can go to settings in chat, so you can see there are three different modes: grounded, balanced, and creative. So in the case of grounded, you can read this that everything will be primarily based on the documentation which you are going to upload. So that is very much focusing. In the case of if I switch this to balance, then what will happen? First, the system or Umata will try to give answer from the uploaded documents, but if it fails, then it will look for some extra insights from its training. That's the balance part. And creative means the responses will be vaguely based on your document, and it will be otherwise come from the its own training and somewhere from the web, but we won't be able to verify it. So you can go for even balance mode. So that means many of the times if you want some liberty, then first the response will be prepared based on document, but extra insights will be given by Umata for the completement of the response, right? So that is also one nice way. But if you want to do some kind of serious work, then you can of course go for grounded mode also, where you don't allow any kind of hallucination for sure. And then you can also write some kind of custom prompt, which will be applicable to all your folders and documents, like some kind of instruction which you can apply to all your chats or interaction. And this is also kind of available with respect to your chat GPT, and you should utilize it. That some kind of instruction which you can put, which will be appended along with all your kind of prompts, and then the responses will be kind of capture those tone and styling. So usually you should go for some kind of styling and tone kind of tone setting instruction over here, which is generic to all your responses. If you want some specific template, then you can also give that template over here, that I want all of my responses in this particular specific format. So you can try this, right? Again, whatever I have demonstrated, that is within free domain, right? So even with, you can see, I'm this is not a paid version of Umata. Even in free version, I guess it allows around more than uh, 20 files, if I'm not wrong. You can upload and then read like this. And of course, it has this nice facility where you can all not only just interact with this folders, but you can also later on share the conversation. So you can see there is one option of sharing. So if I click over here, then I can decide that some static opening message also I can decide. And then finally, if I'm saying anyone with the link will be able to view, so then I can just copy this link, right? For example, in this case, I'm doing so, and then I can share it with you people in the chat box, right? And then you will be able to get the response. Uh, okay, Gopal Krishnan ji, it's a slightly tricky question. Means here, uh, the main thing will be like, again, Google has invested in this particular company, Humata. So in terms of if I say encryption and all, it's safe. Like at least the web page is showing so that there are no issues with security of whatever you are doing or uploading over there. Uh, so I'm not sure whether you can go ahead with reviewing manuscript with respect to Umata or not. There can be two things. Like if you are uh, asking questions to Umata, which with respect to some kind of I should say novelty checking or something which you should do, then it's unethical. If you are just trying to use it to locate some segments of the paper, then I feel it's fine, because you are just taking help of AI to navigate the paper. You are not kind of using it for actual review purpose. So I feel for navigation you can use it like very quickly. But apart from that, I feel it's unethical to use it, because again the data is sensitive. It's author's data, and we are utilizing it on some public, making it kind of putting it somewhere on the web, which can violate some kind of rules. If Even though we trust the organization, but we never know that whether the data can be misused by any means. We never know, right? So therefore, it's slightly tricky to use it for review purpose. And like I will try to kind of mention couple of, like in the last session, I can recall that you had asked about those offline tools. So I will try to give some ideas related to that in the evening session, that what we can do with them. Meanwhile, let me try to continue with some other kind of technique. So this was about primarily, mainly about, I can say, nothing but Umata. But now, let me try to talk one more state of the art development, not with respect to Umata, something else. But before that, let me just go to my slides. Let me just try to showcase you if something is missing with respect to this Umata part, and then we'll talk about one more nice idea. And this time, I will talk about something related to patents. So now, as you can see, this all of these things we had discussed last time with respect to prompt, custom GPT and prompts. Let me try to go ahead. Uh, so this we had done. So this is about Umata now. So you can see these are the three primarily purposes. Document summarization. So by default, whenever you upload the document, it will automatically generate the summary. Of course, instant question answer, and many of the times you will be able to generate some kind of content also if you want. So those are the things associated with it. And not only you will get kind of responses, but along with responses you will also get citations. So you will be kind of very sure that whatever responses are coming, they are based on ground truth, which are nothing but our documents. And these are some of the use cases with respect to revision purposes. What you can do, many of the times there are some important terms which are coming in our paper, but they are scattered, they are not coming together. So you can use Umata to ask about those frequently occurring terms, and then Umata will explain those terms by going through all those, maybe the same file or maybe across the collection of documents, and then explain those terms to us. Then of course you can revise some definition. You can also use this in reverse manner. Instead of AI giving you answers for key terms, you can just say, "This is my understanding about this particular key term. Verify my understanding." That is all. That's what also you can do it. And of course, you can generate some kind of MCQs or practice problems. Then so that I already mentioned you, you can use it for verification of understanding. Whatever you understand, you just write it down, and then uh, just see whether it's making sense or not. Summarization of key concept. Anyway, we have talked about this many times. And then interactive question answer and guidelines for improvement. So whatever kind of insights you got, you can just write it down, and then it will kind of guide you for improvement. And this modes I have anyway explained. And in the classroom also you can utilize it because it also supports other languages apart from English. So you can go for Spanish, French, or even regional languages like Marathi and Gujarati. They are supported, so you can try. And many of the times in the class, you can also do this particular exercise that you ask a particular question. You just write the intuitive remarks on the left hand side of the Umata, and then before you click on enter, you just discuss about the point of view of students, and then you click enter and you see anticipation in students, and then Umata will give us the answer, and then we discuss the solution. Right, something like that. Also, you can do right occasionally. Of course, it has sharing facilities, which I have demonstrated to you, and then we can use it for, of course, data integration and literature review. Like across the folder, you can upload. Like you can upload a number of papers and make it a folder, and then you are going to ask a number of questions which can help you with respect to your overall literature review and data integration part, because now you don't need to kind of open those papers one by one. On the right hand side, you will be able to see all of them at once. Like, of course, you have to click on that particular button, but in terms of response capabilities, whatever response is being generated, that is kind of going to capture all those papers, and then you can click on citation buttons to navigate very quickly, right? So those are the important things with respect to, I guess, literature review part, how when you use Umata. Now, let me just talk about one more important thing before we take that short break after towards our completion of first session. So, like I mentioned, I was going to talk about something related to patents. So now, I'm not sure how many of you use Perplexity, but Perplexity has kind of launched relatively recently this particular important feature, which is called nothing but patents. I'm not sure whether it's there in free version or not. Let me just try to check it out whether it's available with respect to free version. This I have to check, but it's there, at least in the, yeah. So even in free version, you can see the patent feature is there. So let me just try to share this link with you, um, and then we can discuss about this, that what it can do. Right. So just a second. So this is the tool I am talking about now. Right. In Perplexity, particularly, I'm talking about patents. Right. So now, what's the idea of this? I feel that there are very less dedicated platforms like this where you can actually ask about what are the recent developments with respect to kind of patent filing and all, and then you can take some inspiration on some ideas, and then this can help you for kind of your future kind of development also. Right. So for example, if I say I'm very good with let's say graph theory and theoretical computer science, and I also have decent knowledge about. let's say, AI technologies. So suggest me uh, at least five recent patents which aligns with my interest, let's say something like this, just to get sense of it, that whether it can provide us some kind of insights or not. So you can see it has given me eight recent patents which I can go through and understand with respect to my domains. Like, so it has captured this graph theory, GNS, learning of graph. That this is the derived topics from my kind of given steps or given domains. So this is the first. Of course, it's related to GNN. I can look for more for it, right? It's also giving me some kind of source, right? I'm not sure whether I will be able to access to it or not. So it's giving me some kind of source from where it's capturing, right? So it's giving me, okay, so in this case, it's giving me the entire patent document, which is good. Then the second one, this one, iterative deep graph learning for GNN, right? And it's a granted patent and recent also, 2025 November, if I'm not wrong. And again, one more time, I can go through and understand what people are doing in patent domain nowadays, right? So it's a very, right, again, one more, right? So it's a very nice and handy tool to have, where just by kind of giving a small prompt, you will be able to understand that what people are doing in this particular domain. And now let's say if I am not, and this is kind of nice summary table where everything has been captured with respect to this different patterns. Right now I can ask that this is good, but now revise your answer and give me five patents in similar domain, but from, let's say, Indian institutes. So just to know that uh, what's the difference between patents which people are filing. So you can see right now, to narrow this to Indian institute. However, with this, very few. So it's fine. Means a lot of the times IITs, ISC, and other institutes, they tend to kind of publish not in India but somewhere else, right? So that is also a possibility. But still, it's giving us some kind of patent and how it's related to Indian context, so which is also good. So you can see. So this is the second method, a second patent, and so on and so forth. Right. So this is also, I feel, a very kind of unique space where everything related to patent you can discuss and get some ideas, right? So which is nice to have. And of course, you can kind of, if you feel that if you want to revisit something, you can create a separate space out of it. And if you follow some kind of traditional setup, then you can also kind of go ahead with this particular download option. You can download this in the PDF, and then later on you can revisit to that particular response. Right? So this is also possible, and here you will also get those links ready-made with you, and you can just utilize this idea. Yeah. So any questions up to this point? Okay, fine. So now we'll take a break for, let's say, 5 minutes, and then we'll continue. Is it okay? Yeah. So we'll continue at, let's say, 10:15. Uh, I hope I'm audible. Can anyone confirm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, fine. So let me continue our discussion. One more question is there in the chat. So, what other important parameters? But mainly, there are a couple of them. But mainly for our kind of day-to-day interaction, these two are sufficient because I would like to cover a lot of other things. So later on, if time permits, I will discuss about them. But primarily, if you are good with temperature and tokens, so that is more than enough. Apart from, of course, you should know some nice prompt framework like create and actively kind of utilize them. So that much is sufficient with respect to prompting as of now. So now let me just try to motivate you with one interesting idea. When we try to do some kind of literature review or try to get sense out of a particular domain, which is called nothing but feature of I should say deep research. So let me try to give you insights how we should go ahead with deep research within the era of AI. So for this particular purpose, there are many options, right? We have a lot of kind of tools, including Gemini, Chat GPT, and even Perplexity, which offers this particular functionality of deep research. But personally, what I would usually kind of recommend is Gemini for this particular purpose, and the reasons will become very clear very soon. So now how to utilize it. You go to Gemini and then you turn on this particular option of deep research. And then there is something unique about Gemini, which other kind of platforms don't offer. And it will become evident once I give the initial prompt. So I can just say, I'm just going ahead with my particular domain of interest, and then we will see right, how we can generalize to any of the domains. So what I'm going to say, assume a role of an expert in generative AI in, let's say, education and productivity domain. And what's the idea of deep research? It's going to give me one kind of like 8 to 10 pages of sorry word document, which will contain the things whatever I'm going to ask with respect to kind of knowledge of a particular domain. So now I can say, give me a detailed report on various aspects of this domain, including, right, and then I can mention some specific uh, section also, right. I can just say ensure your report contains following sections or mandatorily, right. So I'm just uh, enforcing that the report must have this segments. Top, let's say, top five use cases of um, AI in education, right? And then I can be specific, like in India and in USS, right? Something like this. Then I can talk about productivity, right? Same kind of thing I'm asking. Let's say we are just comparing India and USA in some sense. That it can be it can be about anything, but we are just going ahead with this. And then I can ask for research gaps, research gaps in this domain based on the recent research, correct? So these are the three things which I want mandatorily. And now let me just go ahead with enter button. And the nice thing about Gemini, right, you will be able to see in a minute, you can see it's generating a research plan. It's not directly going to give me the outcome. First, it will give me the steps, that these are the steps which I'm going to follow. And the good thing about Gemini is, which is the key differentiating factor, is that you can kind of modify this research plan, right? So I can go through this, that research the five most, this is the first thing which it's going to do. then it's this is the second thing which is going to do, and then finally it's going to generate this kind of report. If I don't agree with this, I can edit the plan. Right? For example, I can say, what do you want to research? So it has come up with this particular plan. One more time, it's saying that what you would like to do now. So I can just say, make sure you add one separate section, let's say, about ethics, right? Or I can say AI ethics in your report. So then it will understand that this must be included, and it will modify the research plan accordingly. So this is the first important phase, like just like create framework, where we imagine that what will be the outcome. Here we are imagining that what will be the final report along with its component. And if we feel that our imagination is not what we are looking for, right, or the I should say the kind of the plan which has been provided by Gemini is not aligned with our imagination, then we can suggest some changes, and then Gemini will adapt accordingly, and we'll be able to see the modified plan. And now I will just go. So you can see now this point, the point has been added related to that. You can see ethical framework. Right, point number 6 has been added, which was not there earlier. Right, and it has intelligently understood that primarily since I am comparing India and USA, make sure I also kind of compare ethical aspects with respect to these two countries. This part has been understood by Gemini even without me writing it explicitly. And now I can just click on this start research. Right. So the what I recommend is whatever task, like, so usually people use this for literature review, where you can just specify your domain, and then you can also specify some kind of constraint that I would like to have research papers from, let's say, last 3 years only, or the latest was going on in 2026 only in this particular domain. And apart from that, you can also mention some other criteria which you have in your mind, that what type of outcome you want in your report. You can just mention it explicitly, and then you will be able to see the impact in terms of first its research plan, and then towards the end, of course, in terms of final research outcome generation or report generation. So you can see it has started working on. Currently it's doing this, researching this following websites, and once it's complete, you can see that how the kind of thinking has been modified over here. And it's also going to give me the list of the papers which it has read so far, or the list of the research resources, including web pages, which it has considered so far. So you can see so far it has considered 52 different websites, and you can see some kind of this particular white circle which is being filled up by this blue font. So the blue font or blue portion denotes the progress. So far we have completed roughly 50% of the task, you can see. And very soon, once this particular blue circle completes, we'll be able to see our final report generated on the right hand side of the screen. Right? So this the kind of setup is very much similar to Umata, where we will be able to see the outcome on the right hand side, and left hand side will have the power of AI. So that's the again the core idea of this. And now let's wait for, I guess, 1 more minute, and within a minute we'll be able to see the entire report, and then we'll go through it to understand the capabilities. Of course, you can afterwards go for the refinement, ask for some other things, right? So all those possibilities are there. But first, let's kind of go through the output, and let's appreciate it, that what Gemini gives us. And since it's a product of Google, the resources are credible, and it's going to give us very nice output, not just in terms of length, but also in terms of depth, which is good. And I nowadays, like lot of mobile providers, including Geo, they have this particular bundle. They provide this kind of offer where along with recharge, you will be able to get Gemini for free. So that also you can utilize. I will also talk about it in a while. That in case if you are using those service provider, you can go ahead with buying of plans, and with plan, of course, you will get that. Gemini for free. So instead of going through over here, what I can do is I can export this to my Google Docs. So then I will be able to uh, read and appreciate this outcome properly, where I will get everything in terms of nice report, as you can see over here. So it's starting with a kind of abstract, as you can see. First, let's just go through it. Let's just talk in terms of length of this report. So you can see, like I promised, it's around 8 to 10 pages. And if I exclude references, so you can see I'm at currently around which page? 11 page, right? So it's giving me 11-page report without references. So which is a very good response in terms of length by state of the art AI for sure, as you can see. And now, if I focus on segments, then this is what is happening with respect to India, that is highlighted in this segment. If I go back and think about the previous section, or read the name of the previous section, then it's about USA. So you can see how nicely it has followed the plan which we had given it to. Right. So you can see now it's talking about first USA, all those aspects which I had uh, asked for it, 5 things which I asked. So this is first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth, this is fifth. So these are the 5 things happening at USA. And now in India, we are focusing on something else. So those 5 things are over here. One, two, three, right? Four and five. Right. So you can see the difference. And now the difference has been captured in terms of kind of, as you can see, table also. And then we are talking about some research gaps now that is coming. First, of course, productivity, and then it will try to focus on research gaps. So you can see productivity with respect to India and USA. What are the things? And now it's giving us the research gaps actually. So as you can see. So now again, one more comparison and other research gaps, and this is the conclusion. So what I recommend, even though the response is good, this is not a good example of, I should say, um, uh, deep research, because I had asked too many things in one go, right? There were 7 different points, if you can see in my research plan. So ideally, if you are using this for some specific kind of setup like literature review, then you should go for very less number of objectives. So then it will be more focused, and you will be able to utilize more power of it for sure if you do like that. And of course, let me just quickly talk about uh, those plans which I was referring to. That in case if you would like to purchase the pro version of this, then what are the options? So let me just quickly try to uh, do so. What are the plans, mobile recharge available, which offers Gemini subscription for free? Right. And then you will be able to see some plans along with the service provider, and you can just go for those plans. And then so you can see mainly Geo is there, which is offering free Gemini, which is Google AI Pro subscription. And Airtel and Vi are starting to roll out similar benefit, but details are still emerging. And these are the details with respect to Geo. So you can, so I can just ask for one table there. Anyway, it has provided, which is good. So unlimited 5G recharge if you do for prepaid or postpaid with 349 plus, then you are going to get 1.5 years of Google AI Pro or Gemini Pro subscription, which is worth of 35,000. Right? So this is a good offer. So in case someone is using Geo, then you can go for this. And of course, Airtel and VI are also coming up with this kind of offers. So you can look for those things also. But particularly for Geo, this is there since last, I guess, 3 4 months for sure at least. So you can just go for it. In case if you are using AI for your teaching learning process. or research process, then I recommend you to go for this. Okay, fine. So this was about the deep research part, and we also have this. Okay, so maybe I can just close this. You can also check Perplexity for. It also offers this particular deep research feature. So here, if I just give some prompt, let's say assume. I don't need to say assume. I can just give some domain. Let's see what it gives. So let's say recent work and research gaps in the domain of, let's say, graph neural network and, uh, let's say, generative AI, like combination of this two. Let's see what it gives. So you will be able to observe that the in terms of time, Perplexity is going to take significantly less time as compared to Gemini in terms of generation of the report. But we will just get kind of glimpse of the domain. We won't get in too much depth report in the case of Perplexity, as per my understanding, and we'll be able to soon see the response and then get sense out of it. So you can see currently, just like Gemini, this is also thinking, but it didn't ask me for some kind of plan, right? Straight away, it's just going ahead with it, and you can see now it has started generating the response. So I feel that over the period of time, this capabilities have been improved significantly. So this is also good. Executive summary. Why convergence matter? That's the first domain where people are working on it. And then you can see different themes have been given with respect to different subdomains, like graph generation with diffusion model, first subdomain, GNN plus LLM, second domain, keyworks, third domain, keyworks. Right? So this is good. Like you can see some recent works with respect to that underlying domain, and still it's generating the response. So I guess they have improved a lot these days. Earlier, when I used to utilize this for deep research, the response was very short. Now it seems they've improved in terms of length as well as quality, because we can see seven different. So this is it's doing proper literature review, as you can see. It has also identified the research gaps like I've requested, and still this circle is going on. So that means the response is not completed yet. So this is also worth trying. You can try this, the deep research, and now it's towards the end, it's coming up with research questions also, which is fantastic because I didn't even ask for it, but it's coming up with research question, because usually when people ask for some kind of research gaps, ultimately they would like to come up with some research questions. So this is also a good response from, I should say, Perplexity. Let's download this in terms of PDF just to see and appreciate it. So you can see again, like so. The in terms of length, of course, the font size is bigger as compared to Gemini. So even though the response length is 14, I feel it's around 8 to 9 pages only. But still, this is good. Like you can see different domains and keywords, which is going on with respect to those domains. And it's taking, right, at least whenever available, it's trying to capture web pages from prominent, I should say, conferences from this domain, which is good, right? So you can see initial papers, not all papers are corresponding to archive. You can see that KDD is one of the most important or prominent conference in this particular domain, and it's ACM is also good. ACM survey, right, which has been referred, right? So this is decent response, and it's going to give us a lot of insights about a particular topic. And then towards the end, of course, it will also this is also a nice conference from this domain. So responses are making sense. You can also utilize this particular version, which is nothing but what Perplexity is offering in terms of research, deep research, I should say. And you can see a lot of references which are appearing. So 44 namely. And if I try to click on one of them, let's see what where it lands. So actually it's giving me the ICLR was the conference, and it's landing me on that particular page. So if I click on slides, then I will directly able to read this presentation. Right, this is fantastic, right? So if you are doing pursuing PhD, or if you are guiding your PhD student, and if you would like to know more of what's going on in your domain, then I feel this is very good, where you are getting nice report, and from report you can navigate to different kind of presentations or research papers like this, which is extremely powerful. And all of these are kind of recent, as you can see. And hallucination is also kind of very minimal, as you can see that all the links, I feel that they are going to work, right? So we live in a beautiful era where right, we get so many tools like this which can enhance our productivity, right? So the first link is also working, as you can see. Yeah. So, and then this is kind of nice blog about GNN, if I'm not wrong, right? So yeah, so it's explaining the key ideas about GNN, which is good. So if someone is starting in this domain, then he or she can read it. So that's the power of perplexity, because based on I feel that reviews and ratings of different web pages and scoring mechanism, it felt that some aspects of the response must be captured from this particular nice blog before going and searching for other kind of research papers. So and therefore it did like that. It has been included in the first response. And if I just quickly try to click on one more paper, let's see where it goes. Right. So this is also fine that we'll be able to download this article and quickly we'll be able to understand what it is saying. So this is also a very nice kind of, I can say, framework. If you compare this with our kind of response which we got from Gemini, in terms of citation, I can tell you one major difference. Since this is product of Google, most of the citations which Google is going to give us, they will be kind of blog article or web pages. Of course, there will be some research papers too, but prominently, if I click, you can see that if I go over here, then basically it's a web page like this, right? And this will be true for almost kind of like many of the kind of links, not all, right? So in this particular case, it's good. It's citing to some journal, which is better, but you will be able to see that many of the kind of, you can see like this is very likely some kind of web page only, right? So some kind of programs.com, and there they are talking about this kind of outcome based on some kind of survey. So of course it's a mix of both, but you will be surely able to see a lot of web pages or documents from government officials and government organizations like this. So, uh, whereas in the case of Perplexity, it was more kind of diverse, more towards research papers. So it depends upon your use case. That you can have best of both the worlds. If you would like to know more about what people are talking about in general on web, then you can go for Gemini. And if you are looking for some specific research papers, then this is also, Perplexity is also a good option. And of course, the first LLM, that which was again lot of attention, it also offers our this particular functionality of deep research, which is nothing but our uh, chat GPT. So I will just quickly kind of complete one deep research on chat GPT before we conclude this particular topic, right? So maybe it's I can just go ahead with the same topic just to quickly get some response. Maybe a combination of, let's say, graph neural networks and generative AI, recent work since last 5 years, along with research gaps. It's something like this. I'm just saying. And of course, the good thing about the deep research is that they have improved a lot with respect to ChatGPT also. And it's very likely that instead of kind of directly start this, just like Gemini, that previously this feature was not available. Now you can see, just like Gemini, we also get option of edit. So that means if I don't agree with this particular plan, then I can just click on edit button, and then I will be able to modify it. But I don't want to do it right now, just to save time. So I will click on the start button, and then it will execute this workflow for deep research, right? So first it will collect academic papers, surveys, which exactly I want. Then categorize methods based on whatever I ask. Then analyze evaluation metrics, data set, and finally it will come up with the core idea of research gaps, limitations, future directions, and it will conclude with key findings and bibliography. So let's wait for this. I guess this is slowest as compared to all available methods or techniques, but still we'll be able to get some response within 3 to 4 minutes for sure with respect to uh, this part, which is nothing but deep research in Chat GPT, right? So as you can see, we have varieties of options with respect to deep research. In the free version, I feel Perplexity offers around 3 to 5 in a day or a month. I'm not sure about the frequency, whether it's per day or per week or per month. They keep on changing that part. With respect to Gemini, if I am not wrong, then even in the free version, right, you can do around more than 5 to 10 in a day, right? There's no upper bound much so strict with respect to Gemini, right? Google is generous in that sense. With respect to Chat GPT, again, that they keep on changing, but as per my knowledge, with free plan, you don't have too many deep research freely available. So if I go to my free plan with respect to ChatGPT, then we can just check whether we get this particular option of deep research. Yes, we get it. But again, the number of iterations or how many times you can apply this, that will differ from plan to plan. So you can check those details over here. I guess here somewhere you will get option of upgradation of your accounts. So you can see uh, that. So it's directly asking me for upgrade, but I don't like to do it because I anyway have on my other account. But you can just compare different plans and then get sense of it, that what all things you can do with uh, Go and all plus plan. Meanwhile, let me just go back to this. So that was just to showcase you that this is available to all the platforms, not just that you have to go for this kind of plus plan. Even with free plan, you will be able to get access of this feature. And let me just try to showcase you the differences, if I can, with respect to those plans. Just a second. So here, yeah. So if I just go over here, so you can see in this is about plus. So here now, earlier days they used to write about deep research more, but now they don't write highlight much about it. So this is what you get in this plus plan, and of course you can compare it with Go plan and all. Right? And this is the other plan, which is nothing but business plan, where some more facilities will be there, features will be there. Okay. Meanwhile, let's wait for this response. It's taking slightly more time, so it's okay. I can talk about one more topic while we this response is going on. So now let me talk about one interesting use case with respect to automation. Now, so many of the times we tend to give, and let me just check the chat box in case of any questions. Okay, fine, no questions, fine. So now, let me just try to motivate you with one nice use case with respect to automation and how we are going to integrate our capabilities of prompting in order to accomplish this automation. So many of the times we have different types of tasks associated with Excel. For example, this is my Excel. Okay. And I'm saying it's not actually Excel. Actually, I've copied my data on Google Sheet. So I should say it's a Google Sheet, but the look and feel is just like Excel. So let's say, let me give some meaningful name to this. Let's say this is demo 2, even though it's demo 1, because I have already created one file with demo 1. And let's say 23. Okay. Now, what is this data? We usually have this kind of data many times with respect to our a kind of teaching work where we have student names, midterm marks, and term marks. Now, what I would like to do is, let me just close the other demo. I will open it once it's required. So what I would like to do is, I would like to highlight all the students who have scored less than my average marks in the midterm. And similarly, I would like to highlight all the students who have scored less than the average mid end term marks in with respect to their end term examination. And apart from that, I would also like to generate a list of toppers, right? Who are the top scorers of this particular class? Okay, I want to do all these things, and I don't want to use Excel, and I also don't want to use any kind of my own brain. I would like to use some kind of automation. So that's what we are going to accomplish now. That how we can do all these things, anything related to Excel, without knowing Excel, just with the help of prompt engineering and automation. So that's the motivation for the rest of the session, I feel. And meanwhile, let's see where this leads. So as I was mentioning, this is the slowest. This takes let's significantly more time as compared to others. So we will wait, no issues. Let me continue with this formulation of this automation. So hopefully you understand what I'm trying to do. And now, whenever you would like to do accomplish this kind of thing, the first step will be whatever data you have, make sure you upload those data on Google Sheet, or you can just here also you get option of this file, and then you can just go for import, and then you can select your Excel. In upload, you will get this particular option. You can browse your system and upload your Excel, and then you will get everything over here. Now, what you need to do, you can go to ChatGPT. I have created this extension. I will share the link with you if you are interested. If I just search for some file over here, it's automatically integrated with my nothing but Google Drive, so that I can directly attach something which is there on my Google Drive to my ChatGPT, right? So I felt that this is kind of feature which is required by a lot of people, especially those who use Google Drive or Google Classroom frequently. So if I just click on this particular attach button, then automatically this particular Excel or sheet, first it will be of course converted into PDF, but then it will be attached as a PDF to my browser. So in case if you are interested, you can go and download this particular extension. It's called Google Drive File Picker. I haven't promoted this yet much, but in if you feel that it's useful, then you can just use it. So I am sharing link of this in the chat box. So it's available for free on Chrome Store. Purpose is anyway clear. You can see like this. You can upload a document, not necessarily just one. If you want, you can upload multiple documents simultaneously. Right. So all those things are possible. So now the document is uploaded. Just to provide context to ChatGPT that what we are trying to do. I can also describe it in terms of word. That is also fine. So I can just say as okay, just a second. Hmm. As you can see, my Excel, or I can say Google Sheet, contains data of students, right? Student name, midterm marks, end term marks, right? And I should be very precise that what all columns has. Only these three columns are there, which is fine. Name, midterm marks, end term marks, and data is starting from eight. Actual data is starting from A2. I can say, right? Name, midterm marks, and term marks, and my data is start. Actual data, I should say, is starting from, right? And then I can mention some cell, which is nothing but A2 in this particular case, right? This is just to be sure that ChatGPT understands the cell reference properly. Because what we would like to do is first, ChatGPT will understand the data, its distribution, and then we are going to ask for some specific task. Okay. So my actual data is starting from A2 cell, and now I'm going to do some the automation thing. So what we are going to do, we are going to generate one automation code, which we are going to say formally app script code, and we are going to paste this code in our extension, and then you will be able to see the entire automation. And the things which we are planning to do is, first we would like to find out what's the average midterm score, then average end term score, and if someone is scoring less than those average scores, then we would like to highlight them in some special colors, let's say yellow and orange. And then finally, we would like to also have one separate list of toppers, let's say top three performers overall based on midterm marks and end term marks, something like that. So let me just proceed. Assume a role of an expert app script designer, and I want you to generate app script code for following purposes. And then I can mention the purpose. Find, first, I can just go ahead with find the total marks of midterm plus end term and put it inside a new column and call this column total marks, and uh, store it in column D. Let me try to do only this much first. Just to motivate you, let me just go ahead with this simple demo, and then we'll append this. Okay. So it's going to give us some app script, and then I will showcase you how we can utilize this app script. So you can see, sir, this is very simple task. We don't need any code or any kind of automation for this, but it's just to explain you the process. In the next version, we will ask series of tasks, and you will be able to see that how uh, we can utilize this kind of app script based automation for uh, this automation, right? Various kind of automation. So you can see it's giving me this app script directly. The function name is calculate total marks. And the important thing will be where we are going to put this for our automation. Right? So it has completed. So I'm just going to copy paste this. In my Google Sheet, I will go to extension. In extension, there is one option of app script. I will just click on this app script. So one new window will come. You don't need to know coding for this. You just need to know prompt engineering, basics of prompting, which you anyway know from my previous sessions. I will remove whatever it gives me and paste the content which ChatGPT has given me. That's the first step. I'm repeating one more time. You just need to go to this extension. In extension, go to app script. In app script, you just paste the code which ChatGPT has given you. Then click on this save button. Make sure you give some meaningful name to this project also, some kind of, let's say, auto score, right? Something like this, auto marks or auto score, whatever. And then I can clearly see this run button now. So if I click on this run, then this code will be executed. And the important thing which you need to consider while doing so, make sure the function is correct. For now, we have only one function, which is nothing but calculate total marks. So we don't need to worry. We just click on run button and it will give me the answer. Let's see. It will ask for permission. Of course, I have to authorize this because I'm going to modify something which is there on Google platform. So, which is nothing but this piece of code is going to modify it. So, first time I need to approve this. Afterwards, I don't. So if I approve this, then you can see execution started, execution completed. And if I go to this sheet now, then it will be able to compute this total marks as you can see. So you can see this new column has been created by this automation, which is nothing but total marks. Now I'm going to show you one more level of automation over here. Now I can just say, I can go back to this code, right? I can just say good work. Now add the following functionalities to your code. And then I can give some specific directions. Calculate midterm scores, average midterm score, and average end term score, and store those values at, and I can give some cell number also. Like I want my final answer to be stored, let's say, on F3 and let's say G3, that F3 and G3. I can just say that. Let's say um, at F3 and G3. Then I'm going for the second task. If student is scoring less than, let me try to zoom this so that you can do it, less than, let's say, average midterm marks, then highlight him or her in yellow color. And for less than average marks in end term, highlight in orange color, let's say. Like, this is the second task which we would like to do. And then I can just say, give me top three performers based on overall score, and write their names starting from write their names. This is fine, yeah. From starting from, and then I can give some location starting from. Let's say I want toppers at location. Let's say somewhere over here, maybe fine. F. This is F11. F11 is fine. Yeah. Okay. F11. Give app script code for this functionalities. So now I will get one revised code which will do all these different things. So let's see. Right. So very soon it will give us one modified function or set of functions which I'm going to put uh, in the same app script which I have opened. So you can see now it's starting. So it's a JavaScript code as you can see. And once it's give me the final answer, then I will just paste it over there and run my functions and we'll be able to see the outcome. And after this automation, I will also showcase you one more automation where you will be able to kind of see that how this will be helpful with respect to some automation of your research also, like research related tasks also. So basically, anything where you need some kind of automation with respect to Excel, you can go for this kind of coding. And the good thing about coding is if your code is correct, then it's going to work every time. You don't need to worry. And these systems are very much good with respect to generation of codes. So you don't need to worry, even if you are not from computer science background or coding background. Uh, you will be able to accomplish a lot if you just know this, that this functionality is available. And main idea is if something is of repetitive nature, then you should go for this. It's not like that if something is of one time thing, then uh, do this. I'm not recommending it. So you can see that it's taking more time because I have asked a lot of things. I've asked for this average mark calculation, then highlight part, then top performer. I want to list them down, right? So it's a lot of things. And finally, it has completed. So I will just copy paste this. Right? So let me just append this because this is after kind of my first function, right? So I don't need to remove this. I can just append this, right? So or if I am confused, then before doing this, I can just copy paste this part and I can ask this. Do I need to keep this existing part or remove that, and then I can just paste my existing part. If you are worried, don't worry. If you can't contact me, you can just ask ChatGPT also, right? So it will tell you that what you should do. So it's saying you can remove this, keep only this function, and then also it will work. So I can, if you are confused, then you can just say, give me the final version which will process everything, right? So let's So it's going to think for a second. Okay. Right. So now it has understood that all these things will be needed. Yeah. And then it will give me a final piece of code which we can utilize. Right. So, okay, fine. So now I can just copy paste this. No confusion. I can remove this. Let me go over one more time and let me just paste this. And okay, so still this deep research is going on. Hopefully it's going to give us something worthy. Let's see. 403 searches have been completed so far. Now let me just paste this code over here. Let me save this, and you can, after saving, you can see function has been changed because code has been changed. Now I will just click on this run button, and you will be able to see the response fairly quickly. Execution started, execution completed, and let's see. You can see these are the top three performers. Automatically name has been come, right? Then average midterm marks 16.7, average end term marks 23.32, and you can see the yellow ones, they are below the average marks. We can clearly see them, and orange ones are below the average end term marks. We can also clearly see this. Yeah. So that's how this automation works, and it's extremely powerful, as you can see. Many of the times you may have code which has more than one function, so then they will be visible over here, and you can you have to be selective and run function by function, right? So that you need to do. Now let me try to showcase you one more demo which I had prepared earlier today. So yeah, demo one is fine. So in this, right, just by following the previous method, I've created this demonstration where purpose is I want a particular APA style formatting for the given kind of details of the papers. Okay. So what will happen after completion of the kind of app script execution? Let me just close this demo because this has been done now. Why I'm closing the unrelated files, particularly very, uh, I should say, um, quickly in the case of, or consciously in the case of Google Sheet, because whenever I run this kind of app script, it's going to look for what are the Google Sheets which are available, and if you have more than one Google Sheet available, then it will be confused. So I had created this kind of automation for automatically sending emails to my students with respect to their midterm or end term marks. And then at one instance, what happened that two Google Sheet were opened, one corresponding to Python and one corresponding to district mathematics. I was teaching those two subjects at that time. And then I ran this automation. So because of that particular confusion, that students get different marks, right? So the marks were kind of swapped. So therefore, you have to be very conscious while you run this kind of automation. That make sure you have exactly one Google Sheet active in your system while you do so. Okay, so now let me run this. Execution started, execution completed, but I can't see changes over here because maybe there is something wrong with this particular function. So I need to kind of run all these functions one by one. Maybe let's try to do this. Format APA citation. Let's see what it does. So it's going to format only, but I guess I need to come up with a build also. So whenever, so intentionally I have put like this, that many of the times when you have confusion that which function to run, the best thing is you can also do like this. You can give your code to ChatGPT and tell it to come up with only one function which in your code, and then you when you run that particular function, your entire work will be done. So that is also possible, right? So all these things are important. So you can see now citation has been generated. You can see it's working now. But in case if you are confused, you should give your code to Chat GPT, and it will give with this particular command, of course, that I want my everything to be done in with by just one function call, right? So most of the times from the name itself, it will be clear. That for example, over here, I'm clicking on this particular button. So I know that API citations will be created as well as formatted by this, right? So it makes sense. But sometimes if it doesn't, then you need to. So if I remove this one more time, all right, let's say this is not there. If I go back to this code, if I run this one more time, then it will be created automatically, right? So that's the idea of this. You can see it has been created. If I click OK, then I will get a citation in APA format. So this can be utilized for this kind of processing of papers also, where you want citations to be generated in a particular format. And one more interesting use case can be this kind of work. Let me just try to showcase it to you. If I have that particular work with me, let me just try to find it out. This kind of demos are fine. Maybe I can just show that I can just search for result, then I will be able to find those uh, files or sheets which contains result, and then some of them will have that uh, nothing but I should say the app script associated with automated sending of marks. Let's see whether it's there or not. If it is there here, then I will be able to showcase. Otherwise, yeah, it's there. So you can see this was the result of kind of midterm and end term. And what this particular app script will do, it's going to share personalized emails to every student. So if I click on this run button, then all these students will receive an email, right? And if I want to showcase how those emails looks like, I can just copy paste this particular subject in my uh, sent emails, and then I will be able to showcase it to you that how it looks. So if I go over here and if I paste this, you will be able to see a lot of emails will come which are uh, like this. Dear student, these are your final marks. Right? So it's a powerful technique, and I also created one separate YouTube video on this, that how you can utilize the template and formatting and all those. So in case of you are interested, you can ask me. I will share it with you. So that is about this third automation. So you can do anything, like so. I can't kind of demonstrate you each and every possible use case, but now you know the entire workflow. So depending upon your requirement with respect to research, many of the times you would like to do some kind of data cleaning. There also you can utilize this kind of app script based methods which can help you, or some kind of change in citation. If you would like to do it one by one, then it will take a lot of time, whereas with the help of this kind of coding, you will be able to do it just with one click. So it will save a lot of time of yours. Imagine a scenario where I had around, let's say, 100 papers, and then it will be able to do all those kind of changes just with one click, right? So that's the power of this mechanism. Right. So hopefully you appreciate this. Let me just try to see in case of any questions. Uh, uh, okay, so one question is, please summarize this process, automation process. Okay, let me repeat one more time. It's very easy, but you have to do it this once by your own. Then only you will be able to appreciate it. So let me just try to showcase you what I did briefly. So initially, you will have some kind of data over here, right? So it's better that I showcase you with one example one more time very quickly. So let me just open the same demonstration which I have prepared just now. Uh, let's say, let me just open this, and let's say we are going ahead with this particular demo. Let's say uh, this one, that this one is fine. Let's say demo 2. And what I'm going to do, let me just take this two things only. Mm, and let's kind of start fresh. So let's say this is new spreadsheet. I don't have anything with this me, so let me just paste this data. I don't want any kind of formatting, so I will say paste values only. So let's say I have this kind of data with me. Okay. And I'm first just going to give some meaningful name to this so that I can refer to this afterwards. Let's say demo 4. Next thing, what I will do, uh, you can have data from by just clicking on this import button. Also, you can upload your Excel. That's the first thing which you need to do. Second thing, you need to go to ChatGPT platform, describe your data, that from where it's starting, what are the column names, just the way I did in the last conversation, right? So if I go over here in my last conversation, then we'll be able to see it for sure, right? Uh, Over here, if you can see, then I have given my data and then said that this is what I want to do. This is my data looks like, but I want to do this task and give me the abstract for it. Then you can also say that give me the abstract with one function. That is also fine. In any case, you will get this kind of abstract. So for, in our case, we also asked for some kind of enhancement, and then it gave us the final abstract, which will come afterwards. So let me just copy paste that particular final outcome. And what I will do, I will go to this extensions. In extensions, I will go to AppScript. And AppScript, I will get something which doesn't make sense, which is kind of template. I don't want it. I will just remove it. And what I will do, I will just paste the outcome which has been given by ChatGPT like this. Then I can't see run button because my output has been kind of not saved yet. So I will give some meaningful name over here one more time. Let's say auto max. I will rename this. I will save this. Once saving has been done, I will be able to see this run button, and I will see list of functions. But in this case, fortunately, just one function. So I can click on this button. But before doing so, I have to ensure that nothing else has been opened. So I can remove this. I can close this. Only one file must be open, right? So that's the rule. So now only one file is open on which I want processing. So I can just click on this run button now. It will ask for permission. I will give the permission. I will click on the run button and the automation will run. So that's the entire flow. So let me just try to complete the flow so that you can appreciate it. So the execution started, execution completed. And if I see now, you can see the modified script, which all the modifications or automation which we wanted. You can see top three performers are over here, midterm and term marks over here, highlighted parts you can see, right? So that's how this automation works. Hopefully it's clear now. If not, I will try to write down the steps and share it with you in the evening session. So that will help you. But it's very simple. Excel, upload it on Google Sheet, describe your sheet to ChatGPT, and tell it to generate your automation script or app script. Come back with that automation app script, go to extension, paste that particular app script over here, save it, run it. Make sure you have opened only one Excel at that time, and you will be able to see the changes over there. And not with this with the normal kind of this task. You can also automate your research related tasks like data cleaning or formatting, right? So a lot of things can be done with this automation, this kind of automation. Let's see finally ChatGPT has generated the response or not, and then we will. So you can see it took a lot of time. 24 minutes it took. 43 citation it has. Let me try to download this. Export to, let's say, PDF. Let's see. So it has spent a lot of time. So hopefully it's worth it. So in terms of length, it's maximum, I guess, 19. If we just go for the kind of Font size is also kind of, as you can see, small. So it's actually a rich content in terms of, I should say, length. But the styling is slightly different. This is not the traditional, and table is not appeared properly. Table is struggling, right? At least in the case of PDF. I'm not sure about Word or how it looks over here, but in PDF, the table format couldn't load it. Yeah, but visually it is good. Yeah, this type of things were not present in our uh, earlier responses. So this is kind of work which is unique with respect to ChatGPT. It took a lot of time, but it's giving this kind of nice timelines and all, which is very good, I feel. Yeah. So if I try to expand this, then it will make more sense. Right. So this is good, fantastic, where we can see some kind of. I have to download this in terms of image, and then I'll be able to zoom it. But hopefully, you get a sense that what it's generating, which is good. Lot of domains, and the papers are also kind of picked up from nice prominent conferences, and of course it took 24 minutes, so this kind of outcome was expected. And this is, I guess, after the recent upgrade in terms of the deep research. Earlier the response quality was not this good, but again, in terms of table, it is struggling. This is not table structure properly. It has given kind of markups but couldn't convert into actual table, right? So some images also we are getting some nice diagrams, which is good. Distribution. So this is the overall response with respect to, as you can see, Chat GPT in terms of deep research, what it gives. And finally, of course, this last, uh, I guess, 2 or 3 pages, they are corresponding to different papers. But in this particular case, you can see all our publications, so which is good, right? So hopefully, you got the overall idea about these two things with respect to deep research. In this session, we have covered deep research in Gemini, in Perplexity, and also finally with respect to Chat GPT, right? So these three we have seen and also compared. Every kind of platform has its unique benefit. Like for example, we can see in the case of Chat GPT, the advantage is in terms of diagram generation and also the quality of citations, I should say. They are rich. With respect to Gemini, more state of the art with respect to web sources, I can say. With respect to Perplexity, fast, and also kind of the template is good. So every tool has its own kind of uh, contributions or benefits in some sense, right? So we can't say that this one is the best, but depending upon your use case, you can decide which one to use, right? So with this, I conclude this session. Any in case of any queries, I will just check the chat box. Any questions? If you have, you can ask in the chat box. Otherwise, will you can also ask in the evening. I will try to share that particular automation video also with you. So in case if you would like to revise, you can uh, do it. So just give me a minute. I will share that particular link in the chat box so that you can go through the process one more time. Okay, thank you, Dr. Ankur. Gopal Krishnan ji, I would like to cover a lot of other things which can be helpful to all. So I will separately reply you on LinkedIn regarding this. Right, I already got your kind of connection request, and we are connected. Right, so I will reply to you very soon because I have just 1 hour now in the evening session, so I may not be able to cover it in depth, but I will see what I can share in the evening. But otherwise, we'll discuss separately about it. Uh, just a second. Can you write something in the chat box? Okay, yeah. Now I got it. Yeah. Somehow it was not visible. Yeah. Yeah. This was the video related to kind of automation. So if you want to revise, you can just go through it. Yeah. Okay. That's it from my side. So then we'll continue in the evening, I guess at 5 p.m.
So thank you so much, sir, for this
Thank you.
very informative sessions. So I think participants, if have any query, they will ask in the evening session also. So thank you so
Sure.
much,
Sure.
sir. See you in the
Thank you.
evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Sure.
sir.
Thank you.